Hello and welcome back to the channel today. Today we're going to be doing some of my favorite hip movements called CARs that you can do on your hands and your knees. So if you're pretty new to mobility, a movement like this, and you can do it in a various amount of positions, not just on the one I'm going to show you today, but it can be done for you to move your full range of motion about the joint you're trying to control motion out without moving the rest of your body. This is a great thing to do if you're just starting out with mobility for the whole body. More videos like that on my channel. But today we're going to be doing the hip version on the hands and the knees. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and straight into it. The only thing that you're going to need is a mat for comfort, and you can either double up your mat or use another pad for your knees if you feel any discomfort with your bones on the floor. Always give yourself a pad. Come onto the mat, and I'm going to place my hands underneath my shoulders and my knees underneath my hips. From there, I'm thinking about spreading my fingers wide, making claws, pressing away from the ground, and then we're thinking about elbow creases facing straight ahead. Shoulders are relaxed, neck is long, gaze is down towards the floor, knees are stacked directly underneath the hips. We find a press away from the ground. Starting with one leg, you're going to start to hover it away from the ground, and then I want you to make tiny circles, just moving at that hip. Bring it in towards the body, bring it out towards the side, and then back in. What I want to see here is I'm not seeing the rest of my body move around like this. It's just happening at the hip. One thing that you can think about is as you kick it out to the side, I'm thinking about knitting my rib cage back and in towards one another. That makes it a little easier. And again, if you're new to these, smaller the better, because I'd rather have the range be controlled, having equal weight through the hands, than see a lot of movement here. And then you'll do the same thing going the other way. In, out, and back behind you. Keeping that circle nice and slow to start. I'm thinking about knitting the ribs back and in as I kick it out towards the side. From here, how I teach my clients these is always take that leg behind you, take a little stretch, cross it behind on a diagonal, send your hips back, walk up through your arms, relax through your head and your neck, and take about 5 breaths into your hip. Good, this one should be a big glute and hip stretch, 2 more breaths. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. Hands underneath your shoulders. Make your claws, press away, elbow creases forward, knees underneath your hips. From there, shoulders are relaxed, eyes are down, you're pressing away from the floor, and I'm gonna start to take that knee in towards the body. As I kick it out towards the side, I'm finding a little bit of rib connection. If you don't know what that is, please see attached video on the channel. 10 to 20, keeping those circles nice and small. It's a good thing to record yourself on these, because if we see any movement happening, you're either not keeping equal weight through your hands, you can think about that, or you're just making your circles just a hair too big. Good, and then bend that knee, cross it behind your other leg on a diagonal, send your hip back. Relax through your upper body and imagine that you're breathing into the areas of tension like you're breathing into a balloon here. For your workouts to help prime and strengthen your hip flexors, or just on the daily to get in touch with what your hip range of motion looks like and feels like. Go ahead and subscribe. Check out other videos on the channel that can help you increase your hip range of motion and a lot of other things here. Happy moving, y'all.